The city was a symphony of noise. Cars honked, sirens wailed, people rushed. Everywhere, energy crackled, a chaotic dance. Lost in the crowd, a young woman named Lily hurried along. Her heart felt heavy, her steps unsure. The weight of disappointment pressed down, a familiar ache.
I had always dreamed of being an artist. Bold colors and sweeping strokes filled my imagination. But life had a way of dimming dreams. Practicality whispered doubts, urging me towards a safer path. I worked a job I didn't love, my passion fading with each passing day.
The air hung heavy with exhaust fumes and the smell of street food. Lily barely noticed. She was lost in thought, replaying her latest setback. An art gallery had rejected her work, their polite refusal echoing in her ears. Discouraged and unsure, she felt her dreams slipping further away. Suddenly, a voice broke through her thoughts.
Excuse me, miss.
Lily stopped, startled. An elderly man stood before her, his kind eyes crinkled at the corners. He held a worn leather bag, its strap slung across his shoulder. He smiled, a warm, genuine expression that reached his eyes.
I couldn't help but notice you seemed troubled, perhaps a bit lost.
Lily hesitated, surprised by his perception. She had never spoken to a stranger like this before. But there was something about the man's gentle demeanor, his genuine concern, that disarmed her. She found herself nodding, a silent admission.
May I?
The old man gestured towards a nearby bench. Lily hesitated for a moment, then nodded again, drawn to his quiet strength. As they sat, the city noise seemed to fade slightly, replaced by a sense of peace that emanated from the old man.
Life is like a river. It flows on regardless of our plans.
He paused, his gaze distant, as if recalling memories carried on the river's current.
We can fight the current, or we can learn to navigate it.
He spoke of passion, of the fire that burns within each of us.
Don't let anyone extinguish your fire. The world needs your light, your unique gifts.
He spoke of setbacks, not as failures, but as stepping stones on a longer journey.
It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, the lessons learned along the way.
Lily listened, captivated by his words. They were simple truths, yet spoken with such sincerity, such depth of experience, that they resonated deep within her. She felt a flicker of hope ignite within her, a spark she thought had long been extinguished. As the old man spoke, Lily felt a shift within herself. The weight of disappointment began to lift, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. His words were like a lighthouse beam, cutting through the fog of her doubts.
She realized that she had allowed fear to hold her captive, to dim her own light.
The old man smiled, as if sensing the change within her.
Life is too short for regrets, he said softly. Embrace your passion, my dear. The world needs your art.
He reached into his bag and pulled out a small, smooth stone. It was a warm shade of green, flecked with gold, like a piece of the riverbed polished smooth by time and water.
And to never ever let anyone dim your light. He placed the stone in her hand. A reminder, he said, his eyes twinkling, to always trust the flow of life.
He stood up then, his movements spry despite his age. He smiled down at Lily, a final word of encouragement.
Now go, he said gently, and create something beautiful.
Lily watched as the old man walked away, disappearing into the crowd. She clutched the stone in her hand, its coolness a comforting weight. His words echoed in her mind, a guiding mantra.
She felt a surge of gratitude for this chance encounter, for the wisdom shared by a stranger. As she walked on, her steps were lighter, her heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose. The city noise no longer seemed chaotic, but a symphony of possibilities.
She realized that life was full of unexpected encounters, moments that could change everything. And she vowed to never stop seeking, learning, and growing, just like the river that flowed on, ever onward.
She thought of the countless others who might have encountered the old man, their lives touched by his wisdom. She imagined the ripples spreading outward, a chain reaction of kindness and inspiration. And she realized that even the smallest act of courage, of sharing one's light, could have a profound impact on the world.